Have you ever been left by a flight, either international or domestic one? Well, you're not alone. I have been, and it's devastating. I had an event on a Saturday in Kitale, so I didn't want to travel via the road. That meant I had to travel the night before. That's on a Friday, but I had another event at work. I decided to book a flight a week prior. At that time, the only airlines that were flying to Eldoret were Jumbo Jet and Skyward. But you know, Skyward, it's always full. You have to book in advance. So I went with Jumbo Jet, and I booked the morning flight to 6:10 a.m. I'm not a morning person. I don't even know what I was thinking. So I decided to take the flight, then go by road like for like 2 hours to my destination. But on a Friday, there was an event at work. I think it was a New Year party, and there was another event. And I'm always the event coordinator and the planner, so definitely I was so exhausted, having been up and down, making sure that everything was in place and everyone was happy. And I think we stayed a little bit longer, so I came home a little bit late. I had a very exhausting week plus exhausting day. So guess what happened? I overslept. Even though I did set an alarm, so I was to leave from where I live to the airport was around roughly 40 minutes. So I had already booked a taxi to the airport, so I had planned that early. Do you know that the taxi driver woke me up at 4:30? I set my alarm, I think 3 a.m. or it was 3:30, but I didn't hear. I must have been so heavy, deeply. Slumberland. I dashed to the bathrooms, took a shower, dressed up, picked my bag, and I left. I didn't check in. I didn't check in online. That would have saved me a lot. So I had faith that I will make to the airport on time, but well, I didn't. I go to the airport at 5:45, started checking in at 5:50. Before I could get even the boarding pass, I was asked, "What time is your flight?" 6:10. Do you have a boarding pass? No. Unfortunately, we can't help you. Sorry. This is the first time I am missing my flight. Let me tell you, I almost cried. I did. I was so devastated. I was really devastated. I didn't know what to do. I almost went back home to just sleep and forget about the entire trip. Yeah, I was stressed for a while, as you can see in this video. So try to check in with check if I could get a slot to Kisumu with KQ. But I was like, Kisumu, that will be a long journey for me. That will like be a 4-hour journey on the road. What I did well there was I checked, like there was no other way. I couldn't get the next flight. The next flight I think was full. The only one that was available was noon, and I couldn't stay at the airport for 6 hours. That was a long. I was going to be crazy. So what I did was I left my ticket open, and I utilized for my next flight, and I requested to take the evening flight the next day, which was on a Sunday. So what did I do? I decided to go by road. And thankfully my taxi driver had not left the airport, so I called him. He came, picked me, and we went to town. Yeah, And going by road at this point is going to take me 8 good hours. So 6 hours to Eldoret and then 2 hours to go to Kitale. That was going to be a journey of 8 hours, right? Well, um, I go to town. I usually use Great Thrift or No Thrift or Easy Coach, but Easy Coach you have to book. So what I did, I checked on No Thrift, there was no vehicle. I go to Great Thrift, I found the last vehicle, and guess what did I get? 1B. And I'm tall, but I didn't have an option. As you can see, it was very uncomfortable and it was going to be the longest journey for me, but I couldn't wait to look for another vehicle. Maybe I couldn't get. I was really desperate, so I just went with 1B and tried to be more positive on this journey, knowing that it's going to be the longest journey ever. You know, travel for 8 hours sitting on 1B and you're tall. It's not a comfortable and enjoyable experience. It's the worst. But I did. I tried to look at the positive side and I enjoyed the views along the way. Yeah, I did. And I got to my destination at 4 p.m. Went home, met my parents. But the next day, that was on a Sunday that I was supposed to be back to Nairobi now with an evening flight. So I was like, oh my god, I don't want to be left by a flight again today. Given that I had transferred my ticket and changed the destination to be from Nairobi or from Eldoret to Nairobi without paying any extra charge. So sometimes when you haven't checked in, you might be lucky. But nowadays, policies have changed with Jumbo. You have to book another ticket and make a request for them to write an email to them for them to allow you to utilize the amount that was in your previous flight as credit. Sometimes while you're changing destination, you might have to incur a certain amount, or sometimes when you're changing flights, you might have to pay an extra amount at that moment. So things that were a little bit changed from that time. That's barely around 9 months ago. So it was still easy, but the policies have changed right now. The rules have changed. It's a little bit different. But I was lucky that time I didn't pay any extra coin. Most of the time you might find yourself paying a penalty of 2,770 depending on what it is. But in my case, I didn't pay anything. They just changed my flight details. I would say I wasn't lucky again. So, being in the village and it's raining and your flight is, I think my flight was 5:30 or 5:45, something like that. I tell you what I did. I look at myself, I'm like, how will I get to Tarmac Road? Then it's on a Sunday, and getting a vehicle to town on Sunday at that time is just crazy. So I had to take a matatu to town, then take a cab or something like that. What I did, I took a motorbike with a raincoat from home because I was like, I'm not going to miss my flight today. I just need to get it on time. But what I did was I checked in first. So I had my boarding pass in place, so it was easy. It was a risk affair. I took a motorbike from home to the airport, which was like 1 hour, maybe 1 hour 30 minutes or 20 minutes there. And it was a little bit raining. Yeah, but I had to take the risk. I wasn't willing to miss a flight again. I go to the airport and had a lot of time to wait for my flight to Nairobi. I enjoyed my journey. I sat with a lady, I think was in the Ministry of Education, had a conversation around the current curriculum in education system, and yeah, landed safely, and got to learn a lot for sure. I haven't missed any other flight since then. No, I haven't missed any flight since then. I had an amazing customer service with the best experience with Jumbo Jet. But one thing I learned, Jumbo Jet is very strict, so keep time, keep time, and always just communicate with them. When you're not able to maybe fly because of unavoidable circumstances, just make sure that you let them know in advance and then they can advise you how to go about it. Don't miss your flight and then just say that you've lost your ticket. No, ask and you'll be guided. Very amazing team. So that's a story for today. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever missed your flight. What was the experience and how did you go about it? Either internationally or locally. I know internationally is a different story. You may have to pay for another ticket or even pay a certain percentage. Yeah, and I know missing a flight sometimes can be so inconveniencing, especially if you're going for work or in an event that needs you to be there on time. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you on the next video.